on our weekly webinar. So today we're going to be talking about charting success, our goal setting and planning for 2025. We have an interactive session today, so make sure you kind of pay attention and participate. We're going to have a couple of poll questions along the way. We'll talk a lot about what 2024 looks like, and especially as you plan for 2025 and how InsuredMine, can help you achieve your goals. Setting up those goals, of course, we'll always allow time for questions. If you do have any questions, please post them in the chat. And between Monserrat and I will interact with you along the way, and each of us will have answers to your questions. We have some internal folks as well, so any of those people can certainly assist our customers in answering any questions. So welcome to everybody else that has joined us. And as we look at our session for today, we're talking about, why planning for any year, is crucial. It's good to have some sort of a roadmap of the goals that you want to achieve at your agency level, with your tech stack, and in particular, how InsuredMine, can help you achieve those goals. So whether you're an admin joining this session or an agent, you'll find some of the things that we talk about today apply at the admin level. So those would be your agency leaders or the admins that have been crucial in setting up InsuredMine. And if you are a user or an agent, this information will be much beneficial for you as well, because you can take your learnings back to your admin or leadership and kind of make sure that you share your learnings from today, as it'll help your agency, align your teams and improve your efficiencies. We all like to be more efficient because InsuredMine, can help you with that, improving your customer relationships, whether it's communicating with them in some of the workflows that we have in your sales pipeline. Cross-selling is a great opportunity to grow your book of business, increase sales. There is no better way to do that than from within your book of business. Obviously, you want to reduce your expenses, because with your tech stack, you'll find that InsuredMine has a lot of tools built inside that will allow you to probably reduce some of those other expenses and tools that you have. So Monserrat, what else exciting on this slide do you want to point out?
Yes, thank you, Paula, for introducing us to this. This is so exciting, right? Because it's the end of the year so fast, so quickly. I cannot believe it. Like tomorrow it's going to be December, and then it's going to be 2025. And then it's going to be my birthday. That's the exciting thing, starting of the year. But also we all need to start thinking and doing a recap of what we achieved for the year and what we didn't achieve. What are we going to focus for 2025 if we want to, of course, grow? What should be the path? So for example, set agency goals. What will be your goals, guys? Like, should be goals that it's realistic and that you and your team can achieve. And all of those goals could be like, I'm going to sell more auto. I'm going to now increase my commercial business. Or I want to move now to live business. So what do you have to do in order to achieve those goals? Either it's probably not moving to another business, but also it's probably hiring more team members, or probably reviewing if all the team members that you have should be or are the people that you need in your company. Either you decided to move them to another line of business, another department, or you really decided that that person is not needed anymore in the company. Or if all of them, they need to use InsuredMine, how are they going to use InsuredMine? What should be your expectation that they need to do in the system that other person is not doing? Then, of course, that becomes a part of your make decisions, align your team, and then build a culture. A digital culture that will now moving to digital, trying to reduce the old process, paper process, Excel process, that sometimes we still need Excel, but I will say it should be more efficient and improve your process. And of course, company satisfaction, client satisfaction.
Perfect. So that's a lot of information. So we'll dive a little deeper as we go through our next slides. So, how to start your plan. So we kind of have a 10-step flow, so to speak. So Monserrat, why don't you just kind of highlight what's important on these few slides? And remember, as we move through the next couple of slides, we're going to pause and we're going to have a poll question. So we'd love to have your feedback on that. So let's start with our 10 steps, Monse.
Thank you, Paula. So, of course, the first one is review your foundation. As I mentioned in the previous slide, review your 2024 performance, if you achieve your goals or which goals you didn't achieve, and if any of those goals that you didn't achieve, you want to accomplish on 2025, and set up realistic time and expectations. That will be the first thing. Then defining the vision and growth of goals. What is going to be your goal for 2025? How are you going to make that happen? And on how much do you want to grow? Or how do you want to expand your market? What else is something that you need to improve or that you want to add in your company? Then the third one is that we all know about what is SMART goals. So set up those SMART goals that some of these or the SMART definition, some of the companies, they use it to improve their sales process, to set up realistic goals and to focus and improve the sales. So what do you want to do? How do you want to improve your sales and how your sales is going to be connected with your client rotation or improving your process in your company? Then, of course, which KPIs do you want to measure? Why those KPIs are the best option for you? And your technology and InsuredMine. Which other technology do you need that you can integrate with InsuredMine, or how InsuredMine is going to help you to leverage your data, automate your process, or what is missing that you need to implement in InsuredMine or that you need to add another technology.
Lots of great information, but wait, there's more.
I mean, if you guys have any idea or that we missed something, also please share it in the chat. Happy to understand and to learn more about your insurance business perspective and to go deeper, right? Then we have the six plan that it's or the sixth step that it's developing the strategies and action plan, because always we can say, hey, I'm going to grow my business 10%, I'm going to increase my campaigns, I want to send more communications, but at the end you can say it, but how are you going to make that happen? What is going to be your plan and your strategies, and what do you have to do a change in your company that is going to be really happen, and how are you going to measure that your team members are really doing it?
Right, because I think every agency, if they have a whiteboard, InsuredMine should have at least a slice of it. Right?
Yeah.
What are you projecting for 2025?
Exactly. We should be in that whiteboard. Then, of course, your budget and resource allocation. How much money are you going to spend in bringing more leads? Or how much money are you going to spend in marketing campaigns, probably bringing more templates or sharing in your social media? All of these ads that you can buy or you can set up in Google or Yahoo or all of these providers that we have, Facebook, Instagram. and all the forecasting revenue that you want to have at the end of the year, or your cost. Then, of course, the big topic that we have here for almost 5 years, the market and the risk management. How all of these carriers' approachment is going to either help you or reduce your policies or your clients, right? Lost money or lost clients. And what should be your strategy in order that this is not affecting your business at all? Then, of course, your client. Always client should be in your plan and your goal. How are you going to measure that your client is happy with you? What do you have to do in order to connect with your client? Because as we always connect with clients, we should know that clients, it's important in order that we can grow our business. Either I have seen that it's less expensive to make a client happy rather to bring a new client, because your happy client can buy you other services, and that is going to be a retention client rather than going with a new client that you need to spend more money in the new client to bring more resources, connecting with your clients, and in more marketing campaigns.
Yeah, and don't forget, happy clients render happy referrals.
Exactly. The referrals too, it's important. And then, of course, the last one is tracking and adopting goals. Like review, either it's going to be monthly or quarterly, if you have achieved your goals, your plan, and what do you have to change. Or if you need to continue doing it, that's amazing. But always try to review, like what do you have to done or to do or to update.
Lots of great information. So before we go to the next slide, are we pausing for a poll question, Monserrat, or?
Yes.
All right, so this is the fun part, and we have quite a few people that joined in after we officially got started. So thanks everybody and welcome. If you have any questions, please use the chat. But Monserrat is going to, do I need to stop sharing, Monse, so you can launch a poll?
No, I can launch it, but it seems that it's going to be the all four together. So, I mean, I'm going to launch it, the four all together.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about our inquiry. So we have all of them together instead of one at a time?
Yes.
Okay. So if you can take just a few minutes, just kind of give a glance and try to, provide a short recap. And remember, I think Monserrat, this is probably a good time to talk a little bit about what we're planning on sending out for our clients. Do you want to talk a little bit about that success roadmap?
Yes, Paula. So, guys, we are going to send to either the point of contact that we have in InsuredMine, that it's our champion or the leader, to help us to fill out a survey that we are asking for. How was your 2024? How you close your 2024, and how are you planning your 2025, and how InsuredMine is in that plan. All of this, it's with the goal, of course, on understanding your business perspective, but also next year that we focus more in those goals and plan that you have for your 2025. So your CSM, when you meet with them, they help you to set up all of these realistic expectations, and of course that you see the ROI of InsuredMine.
Perfect. So thanks everybody for just concentrating and taking a few minutes on that. This is when we need our music, Monserrat.
I can add music, Paula. Let me add.
After our poll, just so you have a vision of the rest of the webinar, we have just, I think, one or two more slides, and then we're going to launch the demo account. and kind of point out some of the functionality that you may or may not be already using, and get some pointers that will help you with your 2025 plan.
Can you hear the music?
I never can hear the music. If anybody else can hear the music, just put it in chat.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to just post in there, if they can hear the music, that would be awesome, but maybe they're concentrating on the questions.
Answering the questions. No music.
No music, Mary. Oh, Mary, she has your own music, and Jennifer has her own music. Sandy has a frown face, no music. That's okay.
It's
I'm
fine.
Damon. You can whistle while you work.
It's fine. I mean, I can hear it, but it seems that we cannot do both things at a time, sharing a screen and playing music.
Oh, that's a Zoom thing, not an InsuredMine thing.
Yep.
So thanks for taking a few minutes to provide your input. I suppose everybody probably has a similar track of that one or two things that they may want to implement for 2025 that they didn't do in 2024. So we all have carryover goals, and that's okay, right? But maybe in 2025, since we'll just make a lot more happen than in 2024.
That's
okay.
correct.
What do you think, Monty?
I mean, I think we can move forward, Paula.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and I'll just minimize the poll and we'll leave it open instead of ending it?
Yeah, we can leave it here, and we can give you some time.
All right, perfect. I guess while everyone's doing that, is there anything in chat besides the fact that we didn't have any music?
No.
Okay. All right, so whoop, I got click happy. Hold on, it's not the end of the show yet. So now we're going to talk a little bit about, tracking your what KPIs do you want to track, like, and where can you track them? So Monserrat, maybe highlight a little bit of what's important on this slide.
Sure, Paula. So, I mean, of course, guys, we provide you some ideas of KPIs. It's not something that we are going to tell you, these are the KPIs that you should measure, track, yes or yes. No, this is just like an idea and suggestion. So we were thinking about client acquisition because we know that you also are always trying to bring leads. And how are you going to measure that those leads become a client? How much is costing you, either that you buy all of these leads, or that you add ads in the system or in all the social media platforms that we have. That could be something. Then we have the client rotation and satisfaction. How are you retaining your client? How many of those clients have been with you and for how long? Then the client lifetime value. How much revenue or premium does your client is generating? And then the net promoter score that we have been talking about, the net promoter scores in the last couple webinars. So either that you start implementing that NPS in the system, or you see how you can measure your client satisfaction. That this is also something that is going to help you either with referrals or with Google reviews or with cross-selling.
Yeah, and it's a good, honest way to get a response from your customer. We have Net Promoter Score and we've sent it out and we have a very high rating. But there's also, it could show you that maybe somebody isn't happy, but it allows you to connect with them.
Right.
To retain that client or rectify anything that may be occurring. So the Net Promoter Score is an awesome way. It's internal, right? It's not a Google review or anything like that. It's an internal score.
That's correct. Yeah, that's the difference between the Google review, that Google review is something external that all your clients or prospects are going to be able to see. Then we have the policy metrics. Policy renewal rate, the percentage of policies renewed versus the non-renewals, the cancellations or remarks. How you can measure that your policy rate is accurate, or what do you have to do in order to improve your policy rate. The policy growth, like how much have you increased or decreased in that policy that in all of these renewal pipelines, we give you the percentage of increase or if that stay flat. Then, of course, the potential to do cross-selling and upsell, if you can do it, right? How many of those policies could be potential to add another line of business or clients, right? And the premium that you can have, measure your premium in InsuredMine. How much of the premium does your client have? How much is costing you that client based on the premium that they have? And the operational metrics like quote to close ratio, that we provide you the dashboard on how long it's taking you to close a deal, or the time spent in the policy or in the quotes when you quote your client, how long it's taking you to close, and the automation rate, the percentage of process automated, how much of time have you saved or either spent that probably you need to update any process, reduce, add, what do you have to do?
Yeah, so that's a good point too. And so what you built in 2024 may be flowing perfectly, but there might be some ways you want to tweak your process, right? Because a lot of our clients do that. It's not set up in stone. So if there's a flow that you and your team don't feel that it's working for you, well, then you can tweak it or improve it. I think
Right.
that's the beauty of InsuredMine, is the ability to customize what works for your agency, because it's not the same across all or every agency.
Exactly.
Yeah. So any questions at all, Monserrat, before we move to the next slide?
No, I don't think we have any question, Paula.
Okay, hopefully we're getting some more answers on our poll questions.
Let me check. We're improving. Guys, please help us to share your feedback with us.
Perfect. And then obviously, we're here to help you achieve your goals and help you succeed and grow your book of business, right? So that's the purpose. So, you can set goals. So your admin in the InsuredMine portal, if you want to set either activity goals or premium goals or quote goals, how you can automate some of your processes. And then, of course, marketing campaigns. So I know on the previous slide, Monserrat, you talked a little bit about communications out to your client. One thing I don't see a lot of is agencies doing like an annual newsletter or maybe even a quarterly newsletter, and kind of including all of the lines of business that your agency offers. Because that's one good way to engage with your customers and maybe bring in some additional lines of business. And then, of course, streamlining communications. I think it's always important to get a consistent process for you and your team, right? So that way, everyone is, if they're using the pipeline, they're making all their notes in the pipeline, they're working their tasks, they're sending their emails out. So everything is in InsuredMine, and obviously with most agency management systems, there's sync back and forth. So it allows you kind of to live in InsuredMine. And then, of course, dashboard and reports. So before we launch the demo site, I just want to bring up again, that some things that we talk about today are at an admin level. So the admin may set up some of these things for the agents in the office. So some things that you may not see that we show you today is because you're an agent. So make sure you kind of digest what we're talking about today and take that information back, to your admins.
Yeah, that's correct. And also, I mean, all of these we have covered in all of the webinars that we have do or did in all of the previous weeks. So every Wednesday we try to cover most of all of these topics that you guys at this moment, either you are start planning to set up for 2025 or you start running in InsuredMine with small steps. We are not expecting, guys, that you go and build everything from one day to other, because I mean that is not realistic, right? But at least that you start with baby steps, that you send, for example, if you are just creating your deal cards, but you are not adding any automations, add one automation. And then see how it works. And then add more automations, add labels, add a task, add workflows. So see what InsuredMine can do for you that is going to help you.
Yeah, so whether it's 3 or 5 goals or 15 goals, right? Make them specific, measurable, achievable. You can retain them and you can track them. So
Exactly.
that's your SMART goal picture, because you want to make sure that they're achievable. I think that's important. So, hey, Monse, what about any of the poll questions? Does anything stand out to you for any of the answers?
I mean, of course, the value that they have seen is pipeline, and others have mentioned is signature. So that's interesting. We know that pipeline is the biggest module that we have. And I mean, so far, all the others are answers that it's not showing me their answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a lot of features and functionalities in InsuredMine, and we'll show you some of them as we go through today's session in the demo account. And then we have only 5 webinars left in the rest of the year, right, Monserrat?
That's correct. How crazy, right?
So I think we're going to have a fun one coming up in December where all of the customer success managers are going to be on a webinar. There'll be no dartboards or anything, but you can ask questions. Maybe we'll have some music, maybe a hot toddy or something like that. It'll be a Christmas party.
It will be the Christmas party, yeah,
Okay.
because it's going to be the last webinar for the year. So
Perfect.
we are going.
All right, so before I stop sharing, and I'll let you see if there's any questions, or if you have anything to add while I switch screens, Monse. I think we have something in the Q&A, if you can check that.
So yes, we have access to the previous webinars. So what you can do, and let me paste the access that is in InsuredMine website. We have the webinar page. So either you can rewatch the webinars from there, or every Thursday or starting of the week, we are sending the recap for the previous webinars.
Perfect. And we send out a monthly newsletter too. Do you want to talk a little bit about when that goes out and the importance of the content in them?
Yeah, so that's correct. We send the monthly newsletter the second week of the month, and we select a topic. So for example, last month we talk about forms, and we give you some ideas or the step-by-step of how to do the forms. And 2 months ago, if I'm not wrong, it was Google Review and NPS. So we select different topics that you guys can review. And if you have any ideas that you want to understand or learn more about something in specific, please again share your suggestions. I'm happy to create all of this content for you guys.
Perfect. All right. So let me go back to my screen because I think I lost it. So let me stop sharing and share that again. All right, perfect. So on the previous slide, we talked about goals. automating our process, marketing campaigns, streamlining communications, notes, tasks, and those types of things, and then dashboard reports. So this is the demo account. So again, keep in mind, I am currently signed in as don't tell anybody, but I'm Leo DiCaprio. Because otherwise he's going to want a royalty off of us, I think. And I am signed in as an admin, so some of the features and functionalities as an agent you may not see. So from here, I think we'll talk a little bit about goal setting. So in InsuredMine, in Pipeline, you are able to set goals in the portal. So as an admin, you can come in here and you can set your goals. In the settings module, there's the ability to set by fiscal year, or if you want to do a straight January through December, you can do that as well. You can set your goals by agent, whether it's the total quotes or their total premium or their total revenue. You can set carrier goals. So there is a host of ways if you're utilizing the pipeline to track and set those goals. Anything else on that, Monserrat, as far as goal setting?
No, I didn't think so, Paula.
So I think that anyone can look at, under Leo's picture, we have what we call our big 3 dots. So remember, anytime you see 3 dots in the portal, it's always going to open up another menu. Lots of bells and whistles, but our deal charts are here. And you would be able to see here, you know, all of the sales goals that you had set up, and then how you can track them either by premium or by revenue. If you've set up fiscal year or just an annual year, you can track them by pipeline. So as you work with your team in those various pipelines, this is a great coaching opportunity to come in here and work with your team to make sure that they're staying on track with their goals. Automating your process. So Monserrat, talk a little bit about what you mean by automating your process, whereabouts in the portal.
Yes, so automated your process, either it's in the pipeline that you add automations in each stage that we have, or either with labels or with the actions, like when you mark as a won a deal card or when you mark as lost your deal card. What do you want that happen, that either your client receive an action internally for your team, or what do you want that this system do for you, like moving the deal card around to the same pipeline but different stage, or moving the deal card to another pipeline. That kind of automation. And also the other one, it's the workflow automations. Having the system triggering communications on your behalf, that you set up the automation, make the system running, and probably end of the month or the beginning of the month, middle of the month, you review how the workflow is going, how many of those contacts, clients that you have clicked, and either provide you a response, a reply, or click the email.
Yeah, so whether it's, you know, an email campaign or a series of communications you're sending out, we always have analytics throughout the portal, right? It doesn't matter where you are. I think we analyze everything. And, you know, you can come in here and look at your campaigns and see, you know, when they were sent, who opened them. Maybe you might have some that bounced. It's a good opportunity to look because maybe it's an inadequate email address and those types of things. Whether you're doing any automation like workflow automation, whatever you're sending up, there is always the ability to look at your scheduled analytics of what's scheduled to go out today, next week, next month. There is also the ability to, you know, look at what was sent. So that automation and the tracking it, I think, is important in that as well. So in the engagement module, it's very in depth of where you can go and what you can track. All right, so let's talk a little bit about streamlining your process, because I know for me, documentation is everything, right? Who you spoke with, who you sent an email to, you know, who maybe you sent a file to. So whether you're working in the pipeline or whether you're working just with your contacts, whether they're active or prospects, however you're working with them, documenting and making those notes. So if I have met with a customer, I can come in here and I can make any notes. I can assign a task to someone else, or I can assign myself a task to remember to call Daniel back, you know, on December 1st. If maybe he sent me his proof of prior, I can add that documentation here in the file. And then if there's any automation running in the background, then it'll show that automation. It'll show any communications that I've sent out, whether it's an email or a text message. If you have integration set up with our Sly broadcast, which is ringless voicemail, then those would here. And then, of course, you know, your timeline of what you did and when you did it. So I think those communications are important, that at least everyone is doing the same thing, right? So as I always tell Monserrat, if I get hit by the bus, right, you can come in here and you can see the notes that I've made or pick up. Or maybe it happens to be where, you know, two people are working in a deal. And so that is beneficial for each person to understand what's happening with that prospect. I'll pause here for any questions, Nancy, in the chat.
So far, we don't have any question, Paula.
Okay.
I would like, guys, if you have any suggestion, what do you think, please share with us. Like, that will be really grateful and interesting.
Yep, so a lot of modules down the left-hand side. So again, as an admin, I'm seeing all of them. If you're an agent, you may not see all of these. So your admin has the ability to set up, you know, permissions and restrictions of what you can or cannot see. So that's maybe why you're not seeing something. I think dashboard is pretty crucial, and it really just depends on who you are at the agency, right? So whether it's important as an admin or an agency owner to see all of your widgets or snapshot of your book of business, or maybe you're a sales manager and you want to see your sales dashboard as your landing page, or if you're straight up, you know, doing marketing and all of that for your agency, then that marketing dashboard will give you a really big shot at all the work email that you have connected, any automations, whether they're drip campaigns or workflows or straight email campaigns or text campaigns, and then scheduled campaigns. So these can be starred, and if you don't see them, you can check with your admin on your preference. And then my personal landing page is my activity dashboard. And you can change the way it looks by the widget settings up on the top. I think most people probably work their task list. So that's probably very important. So these are really good ways to look at, you know, your dashboard. And then, of course, the reporting on all of that. So like on your agency dashboard, there are a host of widgets that you can view, you can hover over, you can click on. You can review a lot of items, you know, your book of business spread, you know, your contact top 10 list of your customers, your goals if you've set by carrier goals. A lot of carriers have commitments. So this is a way that you as an admin can come in here and set up those, and either by count or premium, and a quick way to kind of keep track of that. So when your marketing rep from Travelers walks in the door, you're golden. Client missing details is always an enlightening widget. So make sure you kind of navigate through here and look to see, you know, what InsuredMine can deliver for you. And then we have a reports module down here. So again, in the demo account, some of the bells and whistles aren't there if it's a specific AMS because we're not connected to any specific agency management system. But this is a good way for your agency to come in here and track and filter. You can look at your performance, your active count. So there's a host of ways. You can look at how your team is utilizing InsuredMine and how much time they're spending in there in the portal. So anything else on reports, Monserrat?
I mean, not so far, Paul. I'm just, guys, like, for example, if you're looking to have more analytics in the pipeline, remember that you need to add more data in the deal card. If you do not add your premium or revenue, you are not going to have any analytics in the dashboard.
Right. And so I always say good data in is good data out, right? So if you're in here and in your pipeline and in your deal charts, that's a true reflection of anything that's inside of a deal card, depending upon the pipeline that you have set up. So that's that consistent process that we've talked about. And maybe that's one of your goals for 2025 is to make sure your personal lines team or your commercial lines sales team is really in here and really living and tracking those goals. It'll allow you for better quote to close ratios. Your automations can allow you to stay connected with your prospect. And then when you get to the end of next year, you can come back and look and see how successful, you were as a team in growing your book of business.
Right. 100%.
So lots of information. Any questions before I stop sharing and going back, Monserrat?
Nope. Any questions? I mean.
And then anybody else added to our poll?
I finished the poll, so they will not be able now to.
Okay. So remember, in the next, 3 or 4 weeks, as we connect with our clients, we'll be sending out that success roadmap survey. So your time is valuable in completing that because it helps us together to help you grow your book of business.
Exactly.
All right, Mati. So what's happening next time?
Next time. So we're going to have the strategies for effective client communication. So if you guys, of course, that it's part of your 2025 plan that you want to improve your client communication, we are going to give you some ideas on how you can improve your communication and how InsuredMine is going to help you on that. That is going to be
deeper dive. And who's going to be our amazing presenter?
Our amazing presenter is going to be Alex.
All right.
So Alex, if you are hearing the webinar, he's going to be the next speaker. And do not forget, guys, that we have the training academy or the InsuredMine Academy, in which you can where you can review the sessions or also the specific modules that we have, like pipeline, how to add deal cards, or how to create automations, or engagement module. So you can go, pause, review, set up something, continue. Do not forget that we have this resource for you. And of course, to register to our last 5 webinars, I would say thank you to all the attendees that they have in consistency with us, that they have always joining us all Wednesday, that they have provide us 1 hour of your time to spend with us, also to share feedback. That's so amazing, guys. We really appreciate it.
I think everybody takes away something every time, right?
Right.
That's the beauty, and we try to keep the sessions so that you learn something different every time. So next week's is going to be good. And then
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening after that, but don't forget to come to our Christmas party. So we're gonna turn our CSM meeting into a Christmas party, Monserrat. We'll still work, but you know.
Yeah, we can do it. Oh, remember? Probably we can have like the bar. Remember the cocktail session that we did in IMOX? So probably we can have something like that.
That'll
That
be
will
fun.
be good. Yeah, I'm going to see if this bartender that joined us last year, he can join us again, and we can make a kind of late margarita party.
All right, that sounds like a plan of action. Okay, so Montserrat already put in the chat the link to InsuredMine webinar page. Did you put that in there? Can you post it again?
I can put it again, and also I can share the, yeah. So you
Perfect.
guys are going to receive the survey, so please help us to fill out the survey, block 15-30 minutes of your time, and we really appreciate that time that you are going to provide us to share your 2025 plans and how InsureMine is fitting in that plan.
Yeah, great. And thanks everyone for joining us. We thank you very much. And you know what our 2025 plan is we're gonna do a whiteboard next year, Monsi. So in Zoom, if you've ever done a whiteboard where people can just type all over the board the answers to their questions.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be after the bar Christmas party.
That would be nice.
Don't tell Russian. Okay.
Okay.
All right, anything else in chat? I know we got a few more minutes here, but I know everyone relishes getting 10 minutes back in their day.
It's fine. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Monsi.
Thank you, Paula.